in the call. Today we are going to be spending time on how to manage assets within Campact and how do you go about doing the content and design within Campact. Okay, so all that which is part of this components on the left, right, is what we will be looking for, and also some areas within the channels which includes emails and other things. So let's get started. Okay, we'll start with the assets. Okay, what are assets within the Campact is nothing but anything you want to provide as a downloadable asset to customers. Say for example you are running a campaign for Infor or any other customer, and if we are converting someone from a stranger to become a visitor, right? So that is what we discussed yesterday, that we have to keep converting people from different stages such that they will become a customer after a period of time, right? So when the initial stage where somebody is showing up in your website and you want to convert them into a visitor and identify them as a lead, they need to identify themselves by putting some information like what is their email, what is their name and all. In exchange to that information, generally companies offer something to download, right? We keep doing that also day in, day out. When we browse and we are looking for some research information, the particular website we visit, they will say, okay, fill this form and download a white paper or download an infographic. So different kind of assets you can build, and you can upload it into the system and give access to customers either by just giving a link or providing it as part of a form based download. Either you can keep a gated asset or you can keep a ungated asset, right? So in marketing language, that is what we call it, gated or ungated. So now let us look at some asset. Okay, for example, let me go and pick some assets which we have created in the past. Okay, so there is a asset here, okay, which is called Managed Marketing Services Packs, right? MMS Packs. I'm just opening it. Sorry, this is.
Shiva, I hope you're recording the session.
Yeah, I am recording the session.
Okay.
Super. Okay, so this is an asset, right? It is like a portfolio where the managed marketing assets of Organshare is listed. Okay, it shows the methodology we are using, and it also shows what are the different packs and at what price points we are planning to sell. Okay, so this is a little old asset which is no longer relevant, but I'm just using it for the demo for the training purpose. Okay, so right now this is what is available, and this is the asset we are going to be uploading it into the system. Now I can go and say create a new asset. Okay, so it is asking whether you want to keep the asset locally or you want to keep the asset remotely. Remotely means you can link it to URL or FTP site you may have. You can put an URL here, and the system will automatically direct somebody to go there to pick up the asset. You can also put it in your Dropbox or other systems and put a URL for connection. So here we are looking at a local asset. So you can drag and drop the file here so that the file gets stored in the system itself. Okay. So let me go here and I'm going to one second. So I'm going to upload this asset into this place. So I'm just dragging it and dropping it. So I have dragged and dropped the asset into the system. Okay, it is called Augentia MMS Launchback.pdf. So I'm going to call it as just for the title I can call it anything, right? Could be a white paper uh, or you know, or an infographic, right? So we are just creating an asset. So I will go and say, hey, description is, it is a, training asset, information. So alias, if you want a specific URL extension to be created, then you can key in your own alias, or you can leave it empty. If you leave it empty, the system will automatically create an alias. Okay, so you don't need to create an alias manually.
Alias in the sense, Shiv? Can you explain?
Okay, so after saving this asset, Supriya, what happens is this asset will be available in a particular URL, right? That URL would be info.mycampaign.com slash assets slash say white paper, okay? So now if I want to say something meaningful there, okay, I want to say, info, ERP, for example. Okay, so that it becomes more meaningful and brand oriented. Then I can say it. Otherwise, I can leave it open. The system will automatically take its own alias based on the title we have given here.
Okay.
Okay.
And one more question: storage location you have started with remote. If we go with local, then it will be.
No, this is
saved
local
locally,
right now.
right?
This is local right now. Local means it is saved in the local server. Okay.
Okay.
Remote means it can be stored anywhere else. For example, I may have an FTP server, okay, and I have stored the data in the FTP server or a secure FTP server, and I'm just going to give a link.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So assets can be stored either locally, which means you're storing it in the Campact server, or remotely, which may be outside the Campact server. That's what it means. When it's a remote, it is a remote from Campact server, not the traditional remote meeting. Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
And is there any limit on the number of assets that can be, the size of the data that can be created on the server?
now you see, it says per assets 2 MB. Okay. If you want to increase this size, you can always increase the size. Okay. You have to put a request, and we can increase the size for you. That is not an issue. Yeah. Now you can also categorize the assets into multiple categories. Okay. For example, you may keep brand assets like brand logos. Your customer would have given you logos and other brand related details, which you can categorize it as brand assets. Okay. Or you can create assets which are meant for campaign assets. During the campaign, I want to give it as a free download. And things like that. Then you can keep it a separate category called, campaign-related assets. So when you are creating this, right now there is no category; it is only showing uncategorized or create a new category. You can create a new category, clicking here, and say, for example, this is a campaign asset. Okay, and you can also put a color code so that in case somebody wants to know what this asset is all about, they can quickly recognize an asset by just seeing the color. Okay. You can also put a description here for that. Right now I'm not doing all those things. I'm saving it. So now this particular asset is categorized as campaign assets. Okay. It is published. And if I've put some description, you can also publish and unpublish an asset. For example, you're running a campaign only for 3 months. Okay. And you're giving, say, for example, a business plan template, okay, during December time frame, where most of the people will be doing the business planning for the full calendar year, right? In India, it could be during March. Now, that business plan template is not very relevant after the year end passes, right? So, I may publish it and also unpublish it at a particular date. During the campaign, the asset will be live so that people can download it. After the campaign, automatically it gets unpublished. Does it make sense? Is this
Yeah,
clear?
sir.
Yeah. Okay, it is clear, right? Then the other one is whenever we are creating an asset like this, it creates it in a URL, right? Now, do you want to block the search engines from indexing this file? Meaning what? If Google indexes it, okay, and if somebody searches for this particular file, Google will show up that file. I don't want Google to show it, okay? Then I can say block the search engines from indexing this file. Okay.
I didn't get the shift. Can you come again on this
Okay,
point?
so for example, let me go and save this, okay, so that you will understand what I'm talking about. Now I have saved this, okay. Now what happens? This particular asset is in this link,
Okay.
okay. So if I open this link, for example, if I go to a new browser and put this link, okay, it will download that particular asset, okay. Now you understand it has downloaded this asset,
Okay.
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 Now, if this particular URL is indexed by Google,
Okay.
if somebody searches for white paper or infographic, this link also will come up in Google.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Do you want the general people in Google to pick up this document or you don't want? Okay. Depends on the business case. Say, for example, you are creating a white paper, you want maximum visibility for the white paper, or you have written a nice article and that article has to be read with by more people, then I will say let Google index it, okay,
Okay.
so that more people will get access to it. Otherwise, if it is a confidential document, I will say yes, block the search engines,
Okay.
so that the search engine will not have any visibility of this document.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Got it.
got it. Right. Now, when we save this, okay, this is how the white paper, the asset is created, okay, and you can see now a preview of the asset here, whatever we have uploaded. So, in case you want to know what is this asset all about, you don't need to go edit it or you don't need to download it. You can just see it here itself, okay. And as the downloads increase, then you can see a graph coming here, right? That somebody has downloaded. Right now, I've just downloaded it in the same browser, so the system knows that it is not a real download, so it is not showing up. But as more people from outside, outside this IP start downloading it, it will start showing the download count here. Okay. So whenever you go and see this details, right, it gives more details about what this file is, who uploaded it, when it was uploaded, and when it was published. All the information is available intact. Okay. So this is about a asset. Okay. Now, how will you use this asset? Okay. You will potentially use this asset in a landing page. Okay. What is a landing page? So, are you guys all clear about landing page, or do you want me to explain what a landing page is all about?
As much we know, landing pages like where we want our customers to visit. We want to have a great traffic on that particular page.
Correct. Yeah, you're right. So you need to create traffic to that particular page for conversion purpose, right? So a landing page generally has a particular form, right, where people can go and download something or put in their information and ask for a demo, right? I don't know what is your call to action in Infor, right? So if say for example call to action for Infor is download infographic, okay? Then what you can do, you can design a landing page and ask people to go and download a particular infographic from your website, right? So let's look at landing pages and how to design landing pages. Okay, for an example, there is a particular design which is available here. I can replicate it and create a landing page here. Okay, so this is a email kind of a design. Imagine, okay, I am just removing Robosoft and putting iSource logo. I don't know if I have iSource logo. Let me go pick up iSource logo. Is this iSource logo?
No, not this one.
Not this one.
The red and yellow.
Okay, so I need to say iSource opportunities, right?
Say group iSource.
Group iSource.
Yeah.
That's difficult. So let me go to iSourceOpportunities.com, right?
Yeah, right.
I'm just taking it for example's sake, so no sweat. Yeah, this is the stuff, right? So I
Yeah,
take
right.
this image and throw it here. Okay. So imagine we are creating a particular design. Okay, if Lakshma is there, she'll be able to tell how to go about it. Okay. Now imagine this is a particular form where we are going to say name, okay. So I'm going to design a simple one, not a very complicated one. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. Name, email has to be given, and after they give that information, they can download a infographic, right? So generally, what happens? This is how the this is how the landing page will look. So there is some information, there is some graphics, right, and then some information about what this is all about, what this infographic is all about, some lorem ipsum, right, and then the system is asking them to fill their form and download the infographic. Okay, so this is how a landing page will typically look like. Now let us go and see how we are going to create this in the system. Okay, so we are going here first. Let us create the form. Okay? So the form is what? Name, email, and download infographic. I'm creating a new form. It's a campaign form or a standalone form. Okay, so campaign form means to a particular source of contacts we need to tie it in. So we will create a standalone form. Generally, whenever you are creating a form, create a standalone form. So this is for a form for the landing page, right? For download infographic form. Okay, and what are the fields? We have said name, email, and a button. So I'm going to create name is a text field. Okay, so I will create a text field. Now the text field is going to ask for name, and is it a value? You can also put a default value which comes within the form, right? Within the form, if you want some default value to be available, we can do it. You can also put an input placeholder. For example, if I say name here, key in your name, it will be grayed out, and if somebody types it, it will vanish. Okay. And you can also say whether you want to show the label or you don't want to show the label, and you want to save the result or not. Okay. So if you say don't save the result, then it will not store it in the database. Otherwise, it will store it in the database. Now, this particular field, whatever we are creating, which is name, can be linked to or mapped to a name field within the system, right? Where to store it? Is it clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
It's
Please
clear?
go ahead.
Yeah. And then there is a validation field which is saying whether you want to make it as a mandatory field or not. So name is a mandatory field, I want to keep it. And validation message, if you want specific validation message, you can put it, otherwise a standard validation message will come. And then you can also, if you have expertise in HTML and label attributes, you can go and put your CSS codes here to make the look and feel of the form different. Okay. You can also go and specify behavior. Okay. Say for example, this is used in something what we call it as a progressive profiling. Okay. If say for example, I already am present in the database, right? Shiv.m is already present in the database. If the value exists, it will automatically show Shiv. When I am trying to fill the form, it will automatically show Shiv, and I have to just fill in my email address, for example. Okay. So you can use it for progressive profiling kind of a scenario. So right now I'm going to create a simple form. I put the label name as the field name as name, and I have mapped it to the contact field of.
Sorry. Hello.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you please repeat again that behavior part?
Okay. Behavior part is used when it comes to what we call it as a progressive profiling. Okay. So how progressive profiling works, I'll tell you. Imagine the first time you are coming to the website. Okay. I don't know you. Okay. So first time I will not have your data in my system at all. Right. You are a stranger to me. Okay. First time you fill your name. Okay. What is your name?
It's Hussein.
Sorry.
Hussein,
right? So I say Hussein, and I say Hussein at isourceopportunities.com, okay, as my name and email address. First time you filled it, okay. Second time when you come, I should not be asking you again the first name and your email address, correct?
Yeah, correct. There's like integration here.
So second time when you come, the system anyway knows, because the system tracks it based on cookies and the IP address. So since second time Hussein is coming, I should not be asking the name and email address, but I have an opportunity to ask other two information about Hussein. I can ask details like what is your designation, what is your mobile phone, okay, and I can auto populate your name and email automatically, so that when you come to the landing page, you will be surprised to say, hey, already Hussein and Hussein's email is already there, okay, and you have to only fill in additional information. That is what we call it as progressive profiling, using which you can collect new data about an existing contact and enrich their whole, enrich their whole record, right? That is the whole purpose of progressive profiling. Okay.
Oh, fine.
Now going back here, I have put the label name, contact field as first name, and that's it. I'm going to add it. Now you see the name has come. Okay. If in case I don't want the label to be displayed, okay, I'll go and say here, don't show the label. Okay. Instead, you put a input placeholder, your name here. Now you see the label vanished. The field, the field itself shows what needs to be inputted. See, we've all used forms, right? When in certain forms there will be a label at the top, and then you fill it in the field which is left vacant. The other option is you can just put what needs to be filled within the field itself, rather than putting a label outside. Okay. So let us go and change the way it looks. We'll make it here I'll remove this. You can put both also. Okay. Now it will look similar to any other standard forms. Okay. So after this is done, I need to now put email. That is the second field I want to get. So there is here email. There is a separate field called email. I'm going to ask work email. Okay. And I'm going to map it. It is automatically mapped to email. Validation, it is a required field. Behavior, again show when the value exists. And say add. Now name and work email is done. Now what is the button? The button should be download infographic. Okay. I can go and edit this submit field and make it as download infographic. Update. Now my form is ready. Okay. Is this clear? Now, after creating the form, I can also set some actions. Okay. If somebody submits this form, what should happen? They should download an asset, right? So, which asset you need to give as a downloadable asset, right? So, for example, I'm going to say allow people who filled form to download infographic. And the asset is this white paper or infographic which we have uploaded some time back. Remember, we created this asset called white paper or infographic, right? That is the asset I am going to allow them to download. Okay. So only by providing their email address and their name, they will be able to download this asset. So the actions are also set. So details of this form is, it is a download infographic form. Fields are, I'm going to capture name and work email, similar to what I have said in the design. And then there is a download infographic button, which is what is available here. Then actions, I go and set an action saying that if somebody fills this form, allow them to download this particular asset. Now I'm going to save this. Again, here you can set category for this form. Okay, you can publish or unpublish at a particular time. You can disable search engine indexing. Okay, and you can do kiosk mode display also. Kiosk mode display is all about displaying when you are installing a kiosk. Okay, meaning it will work on a particular kiosk only. It will not be working in different modes, and it will be looking like a kiosk display. It will come. Okay.
Shiv, on the actions part, if suppose you have specified here, allow people who filled form to download infographic. So is it like predefined in the system that people, there are different parameters here?
Correct. So you can say which asset they can download. So imagine you have 5 assets in your asset library, right? When somebody fills this form, only give this particular asset, you can say.
Okay.
Other option is you can also say use the latest asset from the category.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this way, specifying which asset will be downloaded.
Correct.
That's what. Okay.
Right. Okay. And now I'm going to be just saving this form. Now the form is ready. Okay. Now when you want to use this form somewhere, right? You want to use it in your website, for example. Okay, because forms are created to be used in website also. It can be used in the landing page also. If it is to be used in the landing page, there is a different way to use it. If it is to be used in a website, different ways can be used. For example, you see form HTML on the right side, the blue box. Okay, there is a automatic and a manual copy. So if I say automatic, it will show what is the JavaScript to be included in your website, or a iframe which can be used in your website. Okay. If you are talking about a manual copy, then there is a longer version of information which is available here, script available here, which can be taken and given to your website team, they can plug it into the website. Right now, we are not talking about that use case. We are only talking about a simple use case of using it in the landing page. So there is no complication. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So let us not worry about website administrator and all for the time being. Okay. So this particular form, the action is specified here. The fields are showing up here. Name and work email is what we are going to be doing. And I'm closing this form, and this form ID is 1. Okay. So there is a download infographic form ID 1. Now I have to design the landing page. The landing page should look like this, right? It should not be looking like a form, right? So I'm going to go and create a landing page. So landing page, you can create it using, a particular theme which already exists. For example, there is a theme called Fresh Center Form. So you can use this theme. You can put your logo here. You can, bring the form here and allow them to submit. This is a simple form landing page, right? Or you can have, different types of landing pages you can create. Or you can create your own landing page by clicking on the blank form. That means the blank form generally gives a open canvas for you to go and do whatever you want to do. Then you also have a code mode. Imagine Lakshma knows how to code HTML and she is more comfortable in the programming language of going and coding all by herself. Then she can use this. So if you have a techie on board who can code, the design in HTML or all by themselves, then they can use the code mode. Or if you have a non-techie who is a marketing person who wants to create a landing page, they can use any of these templates, or they can also use a blank template. For the simplicity's sake, I am just using a blank template for a discussion today. Okay. So what we will call this landing page as, we will say the Falcon landing page. Okay.
Shiv, suppose client gives us the landing page, so then we can just incorporate it in the code mode.
Correct. You can go here, select the code mode, okay, and then go to builder. You see there is a code view, right? I'll just delete this and copy paste whatever the customer has given, and it'll all be done. Okay.
Okay.
That's how the code mode works. Absolutely, you're right. Okay. So now I'm going to show you how to design. Designing is also not very difficult. Let me show you how to do the design. Okay. So I'm not doing anything here. I'm going to the builder. Okay. Now when I go to the builder, you can see there is a frame. Okay. This yellow color, when you select outside, the yellow color line is a frame. And within the frame, you have a particular content area. This content area is a text area. On the right, you have different options available. You can incorporate an image, for example, or you can incorporate an image card, which is a bigger image with a title of the image. So multiple things you can do. Okay, you can pull in a social share button or an image caption or a button. All those things you can do. Okay. So let us first understand some basics. Okay. So right now, if you look at it, this is a single column frame. Okay. If I bring a 2-column frame, okay, the 2-column frame will look like this. This is a single column, this is a 2-column frame, okay. I can also bring a 3-column frame. Generally, any of the designs these days has to be mobile responsive. So people prefer to do 1 column or 2 column. 3 column is very, very less. People don't do 3 column in a lot of situations. But in case one of your customer wants to do a 3 column is also available. Okay. Now how do I close this? I can simply select this and delete this. It can go off. Okay. So I can also when I say, I can also reorganize. If I have to move it up and down, I can do that. I'll show it to you. Now let us look at this particular design. Okay. Now you see at the top there is a camp logo and an ISOS logo. Okay. How many columns are there? There are 2 columns here, right? One on the left you have a column which is saying camp. On the right you have another column which is ISOs. Then there is an image, which is a single column image, right? Say image with a text, which is a single column image. Then this particular content and this particular form is in the form of a two column design. Okay, this is also looking like a two column, and then you have a footer which is a single column, right? At the bottom, if you see, there is this Orclad Technologies Private Limited, that is a single column footer. Okay, so we want a two column header, a single column banner area, a two column content area and the form area, and then a single column footer area. Is that clear? Hello?
Yeah, please go ahead.
See,
Yeah.
generally this becomes very easy for designers to do it. But if you guys are non-designers, just try to understand, because it is very easy if you understand this logic. So I want a two column first. Okay. So let me go and bring a two column here. So there is a two column, and this two column should be above the single column, right? So let me pull this. You are able to see this up and down arrow on the left. I can hold this and move it up, okay, or I can hold this and move it down. So now the two column is at the top, then there is a single column here. So I can put camp logo here, I can put ISO's logo here, I can put the banner image here, okay. Then you want another two column, right? On the left you have some content, and on the right you have the form. So what I will do, I will go here. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah. So I have one frame which is a single column frame, and then one frame which is a double column frame. Now in this order, if I want, I need two columns. This one is two column, this one is another two column. So I am going to clone this. Now you see on the left there is a clone button. I click on that, there is one more set which has come. Now I want this up and this down, so I'm going and selecting this and pulling it down. So I have a two column at the top, then a single column, and then a two column at the bottom. Okay. And then finally I want a single column at the bottom, which I will go and create it now. There you go, there is a single column at the bottom. Okay. So now once you did this, right, it becomes a cakewalk. Now let's first go and save these, stuff. Copy it. So I want the camp. So I will go and store all of them here. Orclad, camp training. Okay. So let me go and save it with service delivery, info, training. Okay. I'm going to create new folder, pictures. Paste it onto that. Now I'll save this as a picture. And this is camp logo. I'm going to put it in training. Pictures. Save it. Similarly, I will go here, pick iSource logo. Now I'll save iSource logo, save as picture. This is iSource logo. Save it. Now I'll pick this and group them. Now I can copy this, paste it here. This is nothing but the banner image. Saved it. Then I will have the content here, the form here. This is straightforward. There is a download infographic. Perfect. Now I'll go here. So I have to upload the camp logo here on the left. Okay. So the moment I select it on the right, you can see the customize slot. I can go delete this. I can expand this. I'll go here, drop the image, and the image I want is camp logo. Go select camp logo from here. Open this. It gets loaded up. Okay, this is it the size okay? I don't know, maybe the size is a little issuesome. So I'll make it about 200 pixels width. You can go and change the size here, okay, or 190 pixels, okay. Now you go and see here, camp logo has come, okay. It's so clumsy. Let me upload the proper logo.
Are there any specific sizes we need to refer? We need to save the picture?
Yeah, in a very simple manner, if you look at it, the overall size of the frame, right, is 600 pixels. Okay,
Yes.
and I would generally suggest if you are looking at a single column, then use 600 pixels. If you are using a two column, then use anything less than 300 pixels. Okay, and if you want gap between, then you make it as 200 pixels or 190 pixels.
Okay.
Okay, that's how it works. Oh wow, this is becoming so big. We do that only. Pictures, camp logo, open, I loaded that, change the size to 190. Now on the right, I will go and upload iSource logo, drop image, iSource logo, insert. Again, for making it even, I'll make it 190, so both the logos will look similar size. Now you see camp and iSource logo has come here, right? You can adjust it a bit because this looks a little bigger. So instead of 180, I'll make it 175 and see if that kind of makes it easy. Yeah, looks good. Now iSource is, aligned to the left, so it is not looking nice, so it has to be moved to the right. And camp ideally is in the left. Okay, perfect. So I can also change the logo size a little smaller, 60. Okay, now it looks perfect. It looks like how the design looks like, right? The design looked like this, camp and iSource. I have put that. Now I need the banner image. Now it is a single column. Now I come here and upload that particular image here. Banner image. Now I know the banner image cannot be more than 600 pixels. So I'll go and change the banner image size to 600 pixels. Now it has become small. I deleted this, make this center line so that it works well. Now you see the design is ready, right? It is looking straightforward. There is some gap below because there is some space we have given. I'll remove the gap. Now it will come compact. Now I'll go back. I need this particular content on the left side. copy this, go here, and change that content to my content. Right? So now whatever I want to type it here has come. I can go and change this into a different font, say Tahoma and 14. Okay, 14 seems to be a little bit small, 80. Okay. Now that looks nice. On the right, I have to put a form. Now, what is the form we created? Form 1 we created. Okay. So whenever you want to insert a form, all that you need to do is just say this. Now you see it automatically shows all the forms available. So I want the download infographic form. Okay, that is what I want here. So form 1 has come automatically. Now I can also say form 1 should be formatted a bit. Okay, so this also needs to be in Tahoma of a particular size, say 18, and potentially in the center. Center aligned or left aligned, left aligned is fine. Okay, maybe I will also align it a bit by putting a table. So I can put a table. Okay, here the table has come. I can size the table accordingly and then probably cut this and throw it inside so that there will be a little bit of space from what we want. Comma 18. Now the form is ready, and the bottom is going to be the footer. So for the footer, I need a line because in the design we had a line. Okay, so you can see a line and followed by Orplat Technologies. So I need a line. Now I'll go and call a line. Right. So I need a separator. Let me apply whatever I've done. Now you want to, just finish that. Let's do that. So the line here, then lines below. Okay, move down. Okay, the line has come. Now I have to go and put the company name, which is here, and then I go change this and put that and make it center line. And there you go. So now this looks nice, but maybe we can put a wrapper background color which will make it look nice. Okay, no, content background should be yep. Okay, nice. Which is white color. Designers understand this and all very well. I don't need to even tell them. So I can make a little different color so that it looks nice. Same thing here. Okay, so here we have this color. Copy this, put the same color here, and make the content area white. And same here. Wrapper background this, and content background white. Done. And then at the end, I want to put some unsubscribe text, right? So I can go here and centerline it and call for unsubscribe. Oh, unsubscribe is not yet set in this instance. So ideally, you can go and put an unsubscribe text. If you want to unsubscribe, click here. That is what it will come. It will come automatically. You don't need to do anything, right? So I'm going to make this small font and the font. Make it this way. Now I have done all these things. I'm going to apply it. Now when you just go see the preview, it's almost similar to what you wanted to see, right? So you have CAM on the left, ISOs on the right, right? This is what we said. And then there is a banner, there is a text. Now the text is a little good aligned here, wherein here it is not aligned. And then there is this name and work email and download infographic. If somebody clicks on this, the asset will be downloaded, right? Now let us align this text a little bit. So I go select this. Okay. Now the font seems to be a little big. So what I will do, I will put a simple table, a 3-column table. Now the table is available here. I'll make a little alignment using the table as a feature. And I'll copy this and paste it in the center of the table. Okay, and maybe I will change the font. I will not make it 18, probably make it 14. Now you see the alignment happens, right? I want to still align it a little more. And I can use this to move it a bit. Use this to move it a bit. Now you can see the alignments are better. And form is looking very much upper on the higher end. So I want to center it a bit. Okay, and I also want to bring this particular thing, a new addition to the Dynamics CRM, right? So I will bring that. So what I will do, I will make this, and I will insert a, call a row above, insert a row above, like how you do it in Word or Excel, right? I want it in blue in color, right? So I will go and change the color to, okay, good. Now I want to say in this a new addition of Dynamics CRM. I will say center line and a new addition to Dynamics CRM. Select it, change the color to white and change the size to 18 and the font to Arial. And now I want a little space above and below. And this one I want to give a little space. That's it. Now you can see this, how it looks like, right? Now let's save this and view it. When you view it, now it looks like what we really wanted, right? Now this font seems to be a little less, so we can adjust that. That's not a big deal. We can go and change that. Change the font size to a bigger font. To probably 18, right? And now it should be fine. And here we can reduce the, okay, there you go. And then apply. Now you see all is set and you're ready to go. So your landing page is ready with the logos. If we would have taken these logos from the real logos, then it will be looking a lot crisper. Right now it is a little blurry, right? And then the image, then the information about the thing, and somebody filling this and saying download infographic, it will start downloading the infographic. Now we can also see it in another browser. Right now this is Chrome. We'll go to say Safari and test this. So this is the preview. Now you see this is how it looks in Safari. You can check it out in different browsers. I can go and say my name, shiv.m at organshare.com, and I want to say download the form. Now it is downloading. There you go. The asset is downloaded by somebody who has filled the form, right? Now, if you go here and close this okay, and save it, Falcon landing page, that's what I'm saying here, and save it and close. Now, whoever has filled this form, right, I remember, just there, form. Now you see, in the form, there is already saying view one result, right? So if I click there, it shows somebody from this IP address has come, identified themselves as Shiv, and shiv.organshare, m@organshare.com is the name of the person, okay, and the contact ID is created. Now you can also go to contacts and check if that person exists in contacts, because we said save it in the database, right? So the system automatically had saved it in the database. The name is mapped to first name and the email is mapped automatically. The person is created today, 11:58 a.m. You click on this guy, now you can see the whole history of this guy, right? How this guy is created, contact identified, how the contact is identified, because this guy. This guy has also done some additional effort before. Okay, my name is already existing. Okay, and he has come and downloaded the white paper. What white paper is downloaded? He's downloaded this white paper. Okay, everything you can see it in the contact record itself. Okay, and you can also see the guy has got some points. Remember, yesterday we discussed about lead points, right? How this guy got 25 points? Because we have said that anybody who is downloading an asset give a 25 points. Yesterday, remember, we set this up. Let's go. Right? Look at the manage actions. We have gone and said if somebody downloads an asset, so everything the system tracks, you don't need to really bother too much about, Okay, sorry, I clicked it outside. Okay, manage actions. Now in the manage actions, we have said downloads. If somebody downloads an asset, give her 25 points. And the system automatically assigned 25 points to Shiv because he has downloaded the asset just now. Okay, and he has got a 25 points. You can also sort people by points going forward and see whoever has got better points, right? Now we also said in the manage triggers, if somebody has got more than 30 points, then they become a MQL, right? Let me publish this. Okay, they become a MQL, and we've also got a segment called. Okay, so we have not created it yesterday, right? Let me go edit this. Say if somebody becomes an MQL, what happens? Events. Okay, so change the segment is what we need to do. Okay. I'll go and create a segment called the MQL, marketing qualified lead, right? MQL, marketing qualified lead, and no filters because the thing which gets automatically created, right? And now going to triggers and going to say that if somebody gets more than 30 points, okay, move them to change the segment of the person and move that person, add that contact into MQL as a segment, right? Move them to MQL. So right now Shiv has got 25 points. Let Shiv do some more work. Then he will get more than 30 points and then he will potentially, become an MQL. Right now he is not qualified because he's only got 25 points. So if he visits a website, then there is a great point, but this code is not yet installed in your site, so your site will not get tracked at this point in time. Okay, cool. So we have looked at the whole landing page, how the landing page looks like, and how we can go and create a landing page quickly, right? Using the components. Okay, so that is all about landing page, guys. Any questions on landing page?
No, we are good to go. It's pretty much clear.
Pretty much clear.
Yeah, sure. It was an informative session. I think it's quite clear. Right.
Quite clear. Okay, great. So now let's look at how one can create the emails. Okay, email design is similar to landing page design. It's no big difference. It has also got similar templates. I'm seeing somebody has played around already, right? Shubham and test and all that. It's created. Now let's go create an email. Same way, either you can use the code mode to copy paste, right? Now, in the email, again, it will ask whether you want a template email which can be used anywhere or a segment email which can be only tied to a particular segment. Do not use the segment email, use always a template email because it has the flexibility of using it in any place in the system. So use the template email. Now again, you have different designs. You can either choose a design. Yeah, sorry.
I just want to know what exactly the segment mean here. In this entire portal, I'm not able to understand what exactly. What segment is and how we differentiate it.
Right. So that is the training you're going to get tomorrow about the segment. Okay. To give a brief about what a segment is all about. Okay. Today, imagine we are having a database. Okay. How big is the database? There are about 39 items. You are able to see?
Yeah. Yes.
There are 39 people in your contact list. Okay. And different names, different email IDs and all those kinds of stuff, right? And I see that you have uploaded only an email address without a name, proper name, right? I don't know who has done it. Potentially, you should upload with a proper name, okay? So, for example, I want to filter out from this list anybody who is in Noida, okay? Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Right now, I'm only seeing that location. I want to filter out. Imagine you have 10,000 records like this, okay, and probably 1,000 people are staying in Noida, and you want to filter them out. How will you go about filtering them? That is what we call it as segmentation. So segmentation in marketing term refers to how you want to segregate your customers into homogeneous group. Okay. So tomorrow Harsha will be explaining you a lot more in detail about segmentation. But today I'm just giving you an introduction since you have asked this question. So I can go to a segmentation and say, hey, I want to find out anybody who is staying in Noida, okay? Contacts in Noida. And then I will go apply the filters. How will I identify? Noida is a city. So contact city is equal to Noida. And that's it. It will automatically filter all the people from Noida and put it in this segment. Imagine you are doing an event in Noida, okay? Obviously, you will not be inviting people from Gurgaon and, Gurgaon you may be doing a separate event, right? And Noida there is a separate event and you want to call only people who are within the circle in Noida and a little bit areas around Noida. You can just say, people who are residing in Noida, who has got an address with a city named Noida, will be invited to this event. Now, this event is also specific to a gender. Okay, this is generally a feminist event, and we are going to call only women folks into this event. You can also put that as a criteria. For example, let's say gender. Gender is not available. Interesting. We can also create a gender. You can also that example is not working since gender is not here, since it is a B2B instance. We have not put a gender. Let's take some other example. Let's take owner, okay? And the owner means the contact owner, right? Yesterday when we showed an example of importing some data into the system, we discussed about this owner. Who is the owner? Neeraj is the owner of this particular contact, right? Meaning, Neeraj is dealing with those customers. Imagine Neeraj has got 100 customers in Noida working with him closely, and Neeraj wants to send out an invite to them personally, right? Then I am segregating people who are living in Noida and a gender women, which is also possible. We can create a gender as a additional field and start tracking them. And we can also put ownership. So Neeraj is going to send the invite out. So owner is equal to Neeraj, right? I can say that. When I save this, whatever records which has got the city as Noida and owner as Neeraj will automatically be segregated and kept as a separate segment. That is what segmentation is all about. Okay? So let's go back to email. Okay. So when you're creating an email, you can create an email for a particular segment. That means that email will be sent only to that segment. For example, you are creating an invitation email, okay, and you want to send it to that segment which is the Noida segment. You can do that, okay. Or you can create an email and use the way you want to use. That is why generally we say don't use a segment email. Use always a you know template email, which is a better option. Now you have different designs which are available for creating your email, or you can pick up a blank canvas and do one. Let us create a design out of a particular thing. Let's look at how this design looks. This design looks nice. Okay, I'm going to use this design, and I'm going to have a subject line. Okay, the subject line is I'm going to say book now and win big. That is the subject line, and book now and get an infographic, because that is what we have created in the landing page. An internal name is a test email. Okay, training email we call it. Okay. Now I'll go to builder. Now the builder brings the template up. I know what I am getting into. Okay, so this is a 550 pixel width, and then there is a logo area. Here I go out and pick my logo. So this logo right now is not having any particular size. So there is a link also in the logo, right? So I'm going to use iSource logo. Let me bring up iSource, or I can also pick it up from the existing one. So iSource logo has come, and maybe I'll make it a little small. Okay, so make it 150. And now I want to also give a link to isource.com. I can do that. www.isourceopportunities.com. That means somebody clicks on the logo, it will go to iSource. Good. Now this is like a newsletter, volume 2.1.1. Now that was the last year's. So we will say volume 3.12. This is March. March 19, 2019. Done. So you have this, okay, and you also have which says external link, external link, external link. I don't want that. It doesn't make any sense. So I'll cut. Okay. Now this image I'm good. I don't want to change it. I want to go and change the details, because it says Lorem Ipsum. Okay, I'm going to say book your demo and download your infographic. So you can make it bold. Good. Now I'm going to say iSource brings you the opportunity to book your demo and also claim your copy of the infographic. This infographic explains you how to go about using digital and voice to get the best leads possible. Now there is a link here, right? So remember we created this, this is our, landing page, right? So I'm copying this landing page link and throwing it in the, out here. Now let me go here and edit the link, and I'll put a load in, store the URL and update it. Now it is updated. Edit link. Yeah, it is updated. Now I'll go and remove the stuff. Okay. Now you are ready. So instead of click this, can I say something else? Okay, click this is what it is. Okay, fine. Now there is a section 2. If you want to edit that, you can do that. So you can do those changes, right? Like this is like a newsletter. So there is a first section, then there is a second section, then there is a third section, and then there is a bottom detail, right? So now I have done this. I will apply. Now I can preview how the email looks like. The email looks like this. Okay, nice, good. Now I'll go here, close this. So it is going to say book now and get an infographic. So now let's look at who should be sending this email, right? So we need to look at what have we configured here. We have configured events, that's something, okay, not a problem. And if somebody is seeing a text version, how do I auto-generate? So I can auto-generate a text version. So because not all email client supports HTML version, so the system will automatically create what should be the text version. So I'm saying there is a logo at the top with the link, iSource opportunities, right? Logo cannot come because it is a text version. Book your demo and download your infographic. There you go, and there is a click here link, and then a H2 edition section and a H3 section. All those stuff is here. Okay, cool. So I'll save and close. Okay. Now this email is ready. This email is called the training email. Close. I can send an example from here. Other option is I can actually go to contacts. Before doing so, let me add some actions. Email open. Get say 10 minutes. When a contact opens it. Okay, limit to the selected emails. No, I'm not going to say a selected email for every email. And save and close. Okay, so I'm also giving 10 extra points. Now I go to contact. I can say, okay, send an email to Shiv. I can also do individual emails. I can also do bulk emails. Okay, so info administrator, is that the one? No. Okay, let me see configuration. We have already configured your email into the system. So let's pick up email sends. Right. So it is neeraj@eisource.com. Okay. So I go back to contacts and say Shiv needs to be sent an email. I can send an individual email. I'll show you how it works. Okay. So we'll say Neeraj. Resource from this is, since it is a single email, I'm just configuring it like this, otherwise it will automatically do. Now I want training email to be picked. Now you can see all the training email has come. Very good. Now I will say send. Is there anyone else? Hussain, your email ID is correct, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. So let us also send it to Hussain. Send it to Neeraj also. There you go. Send it to Neeraj. Send it to Hussain also. Okay. So now we should be getting that in our systems. You can also send, segment-based emails where it will go to thousands of people, or you can do campaigns, which we will cover it in the. Sorry.
Yeah, we tried this sending emails, few days back, but these emails were delivering so lately, like 10 to 15 minutes. So I was just about to ask you whether if we can, how to manage this speed and
Okay,
all
so
that.
generally, Hussein,
Still, I didn't get any email.
so it takes, it works on a batch mode, okay, which is a system, right? It is used generally for bulk communication. It is not used for single email communication, okay. So generally it takes a little while, okay, at least 5-10 minutes because the batch process has to run in the backend, and it is scheduled once in 15 minutes run the batch process. That is why it takes time, okay. So now we've designed the landing page, we have designed the email and pushed it out to few people. Okay, you can also check once the mail comes, how the whole thing works.
So, Shiv, by sending the mail through this, we are sure that it's landing in the inbox. So, that settings we have already done with the help of Amit, and like we've set it internally.
Yes, right now it lands in inbox, right? But still the SPF, the SSL problem is not solved. Now you see, oh, okay, something else has come. Even the, Supriya, maybe we need to connect once more to see if there is a possibility of SSL to be enabled. Okay, but
Okay.
yeah, that is not a showstopper, but it is better. Okay, that's what I would
Okay.
suggest. So Neeraj's email has come. Okay, now let me go and see book now and get an infographic. Right now, the email looks like this. Okay, it has landed in my inbox right now. It looks straightforward, not an issue. Let me check in my mobile. How it looks. You guys also can check if Hussein's email is downloaded. It should be faster for Hussein because it is your own domain. Um, Let me see if it has landed in the. Yeah, in my phone also it looks decent. Ready for it. Okay. Now let us look at something called what we call a some simple dynamic stuff. Okay, where we have to put in the name of a person. Okay. Let's see some simple things. Let us try. Email. Now let's edit this email, training email. Edit it. Now, are you guys okay? Okay. Now, right now, if you look at it, it is a very impersonal email. There is absolutely no personalization here. So let's put some personalization. Okay. So I'm going to go and say, dear so and so, before you know asking them to do something. Dear. So what should be the name? It should be the first name. So contact field first name, and then the email starts. Okay. Now I also want to save this in the in the their first name is included. Okay, and I'm applying it. And I also wanted to say something like that in the subject line. So I can say, dear so and so, book your book now and get an infographic. Okay, this can be done. This is a straightforward thing, like many of the mail systems, right? Now you can also do something called dynamic content. Let me show you how to do that dynamic content. Okay. Now let's see, for example, let's pick this. Right. So in between, I want to put some information. Okay. Yeah, here you go. So now I have added some dynamic content here. Okay, I am going to use this to do something. Okay, so what this dynamic content can do? Okay, um, so dynamic content can have different content for different types of people. For example, you are sending out a email um, to multiple people, right? There will be men folks, there will be women folks. There will be someone who is residing in Noida, somebody residing outside of Noida. So if somebody receives from Noida, give them this address. Somebody who is residing outside Noida, give a different address. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Default address is, say, for example, you know, this default address I put a Delhi address. This is for anybody who's, you know, Puri. Now I want to say add a variant, okay? And if somebody has got the city as Noida, right, then the Delhi address should not come, the Noida address should come, okay? Noida address, uh, greater Noida, NCR. Okay, so if there is no Noida city, then that person should get Delhi address. If somebody has got a Noida in their city, should get a Noida address. That is what we are trying to do here. Okay, so that imagine you are sending an invite. Okay, somebody who is from Noida should get the event address in Noida, and somebody who is outside of Noida in NCR, within NCR, should be invited to the Delhi event. Okay, now I can do dynamic content. The same email going to someone in Noida will have a different impact compared to someone who is receiving this email outside Noida. Okay. The only thing is I'm not sure this particular Noida is written right in the database. Okay, let's see how it works. Okay, apply. Now I have applied this. Close filter. Save and close. Now I'll again go to contacts and send it to both Shiv and Hussain. Are you all there? I'm sorry. Or am I talking alone?
No, we are of course there.
Okay. So again, I'm sending it to Hussain. Yep. Now both of us should get an email. I should be getting dear Shiv so and so, and Hussain should get dear Hussain or dear Iftikhar Hussain, right? That is how you write your name. So you may get dear Iftikhar because that is your first name. I don't know how you have stored the information, right? So you have stored the information. City Noida clear. So you should get dear Iftikhar Hussain. You may not be getting dear Hussain. You will be getting the first name there because we have chosen first name. And then in the dynamic content area, you should be getting a Noida address, wherein I should be getting a Delhi address, ideally speaking. Okay? Because you are staying in Noida, it should ideally give you a Noida address. Okay? That is what we call it as a dynamic content. Dynamic content can be applied for images. Imagine you are sending an invite or an email to 5,000 people. out of which 3,000 people are women and 2,000 people are men. And for women, you want to show a pink colored banner image.
Personalization you're talking about, right?
Complete personalization, right? You can do personalization in the image, in the content, in the whole design, right? So if different person sees it, it will be completely different, right? You can also include details like their company details, right? You collect a lot of information. I know how iSource database looks like, right? I've seen profiling work of iSource when I was the CMO of Tally, and I've used iSource data, right? And your data used to be very rich. Now, using that data, you can personalize it to a greater extent, right? You can even say, hey, you were looking for the server's purchase last month, right? Have you done it? You can ask that kind of a question, right? Because you have the data with you, you can really put those data, filter the data properly, and make it completely personalized. Yeah, like what Hussein said, I'm talking about personalization, right? Cool. So today that is all we've got, and I'm just expecting the email to show up. If it shows up, then we can check how the email has worked. And any question you have about assets, landing pages, or email, how to design, how to put content. Anjali, you should be now clear about how the dynamic content works, right? Because when you're writing the content, then you can write some content specifics for some audience and some different content for different audience. Then you can use the dynamic content facility to customize the whole communication. And
Sure, I think
yeah,
it was helpful, Shiv. Yeah.
okay, got you. Cool. So let's wait for the unit.
I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
You said that marketing asset that we are. I mean, is it good to keep them on local, or like which one is better option to keep it in local or remotely for the better user experience and downloading?
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, both options are secure. Needs to be secure. That is the most important thing, Hussein. Okay. See whether you keep it locally. Locally, our server is protected completely. Okay. This is residing within a proper SSL layer, and it is completely cordoned off. So it is a very secure, high secure environment. If you're keeping it in the remote server, right? Don't keep it something like a free Dropbox or those kind of stuff. Those will not be very secure. If you're keeping it out, then keep it in a proper SFTP server or something like that. Okay. So now let us look at Neeraj's email has come. Okay, now it says Dear Shiv. Are you able to see it on the right? Dear Shiv, book and infographic. Okay, and it also says Dear Shiv. And this has not worked. Okay, because it has not been triggered by a campaign. This has not worked. Dynamic content has not worked. Otherwise, dynamic content is supposed to work properly. Okay. Did you receive it, Hussein?
But no, there's some network problem. That's why I'm not able to
okay, got it. Not a problem. You check it out once you receive it, and when the campaign session happens, we will pull this into the campaign and see how the whole thing works. Okay, how the dynamic content works. Right.
Sure.
That's all we've got, folks. Any question, please feel free to write to me. Okay. Tomorrow, day after, the session will be done by Harsha on the contacts, segmentation, and all those stuff, right? How to bring in contacts, how to do segmentation, and what are the different use cases which may work there, okay? And then let's move it forward. By the end of the week, we will have the reporting session, and then we will close the training, okay?
Okay.
Hope this is useful for you.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very informative discussion.
Fantastic. I like it. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Shiv. Thank you, team.
Thanks.
Thanks, Shiv.
Thank you.